nowhere and won, I don't know, 7-8 million or so.
Yeah, he's been on quite a run, quite a bit of that run straight through Tom.
What do you make of Isildur's game?
It seems like he's a very tough no-limit player, maybe not as tough a pot-limit Omaha player.
Up to 26.
One thing you definitely can say about him is that he is willing to play the biggest stakes possible with absolutely anyone at any time, any number of tables. It's been a lot of fun to watch. He's been getting a lot of attention.
A lot of people feel like he exposed sort of a flaw maybe in Tom's no-limit game. I mean,
Possibly.
what would that be? That's something to do with sort of a passive defensive style of play that Tom sometimes employs?
Yeah, a little bit, I think. I think that recently the very best heads-up no-limit players have been playing an extremely aggressive style, both from the big blind and from the button.
After the show.
Okay, I'm filming at the moment. Can I call you back? Can I call you back tomorrow about this? Yeah. Okay, because I'm on TV at the moment while I'm talking to you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thanks. Bye.
9 hours or something.
All right. That was the bank manager. You got to answer his phone calls.
Sammy taking business calls in the middle of the match. Because in this match so far, it does look like Tom. It feels like Tom's controlling the pace, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Don't
It
spoil
was so sick that 8-5 hand. He just decided to bluff the river, and I just happened to have the better hand, which was the 7 deuce.
Well, to be honest with you, I thought I was good there as well with the 2. When you weren't calling, I thought maybe you had like ace high. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I was bluffing that river, but I actually was thinking of checking at the queen 10 9 7. But if we chop, I don't get the money, obviously.
Yeah, that's right.
So, and I thought it was really likely you had a 7. You know, like if I had 7-8, I would have checked the river definitely.
Yeah.
Because you have a 7 so much. But with 7 deuce, I was like, oh man, there's that extra 10,000 to win.
Oh, it's crazy. That game has lost people a lot of money, and it's made them a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah.
That 7 deuce.
Sweet game.
And it has so far
It's a lovely
tonight,
game.
hasn't
Lovely
it?
game.
It certainly has. It's really been the driving force behind a couple of the biggest and most interesting pots they've played.
Oh, I thought I was picking up. What you call it?
Call.
I thought I was picking up another
I'm not
chip.
going to fold.
Top pair versus bottom pair. And Durrrr with the check call.
Don't go into zone mode. Like we're talking, and you go into zone mode. It's ridiculous.
That's when the pot gets to a certain size.
Check.
All right, I'll try not to, just for this match, though.
You go into zone mode. It's ridiculous. Like, oh my god.
Check.
And that's check with the intention.
10,000.
Making a tough decision faced with a bet.
Right.
It's an overcard that's more likely to hit Sammy than it is Durrrr, so that also makes it a good card for him to bluff. He could play, you know, Queen 7 or something like that, like this. He could play King 10 like this also.
No, just throw the cards in the muck. It's okay. There you go. Good news.
He did make a conspicuously
'Cause the
small
2
bet
was still
there.
good
I
there
believe
either
it
way.
was something like 10 into 26. So Sammy's really been mixing it up with his bet sizing. We've seen him underbet, we've seen him overbet.
You know, I'm sorry. I'm just used
And-
to... Because most people, when they're talking in the middle of a hand, are trying to pick something up on you. So that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, usually when people are like being you're actually not. So
You're like going to zone mode. Like, what's the name? Erica was telling me, you, like when you guys bet, like you're laughing, and you go into like, it's crazy.
I think Tom's right about that.
Thank you,
Sammy seems to just talk just for the sake of conversation, doesn't he?
I mean, I think it's definitely better to do that than to do to mix the two. You know what I mean? Like you never want to be giving the impersonation that you're.
Yeah, like me, I don't do that stuff.
Right. You don't do it at all. But
Yeah.
I'm saying like you can't be too bothered knowing that okay now I'm trying to win your money like when I do that or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's true.
But it's bad when people like are talking to you unfriendly and I don't know. I just don't like the hustling aspect. I try to avoid that.
You've played me now long enough to know that it's me. That's the thing, that's me. I don't like when I zone, not zone, rezone, whatever zone it is.
You're back to 3,000.
But at the same time, as you said, it does seem like Sammy is
Okay.
It's not the lines he's taking, but the bet sizing, and he's
good.
sowing some seeds of
Oh, the
confusion,
movie.
isn't he?
Did you watch it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the movie's great, huh?
Yeah, I like
The movie's fantastic. I like the
Yeah,
movie.
Sammy's
I think the movie's great.
sort of trying to
Okay, I'll check. I'll feel off.
act like he's just fooling around
Flop was
and
great too, or just the
doesn't
movie?
really care too much what happens. But you can tell he's a competitive guy. He wants to win.
All right, I'll check. All right.
I'll
Even
put a
in his
bet.
conversation, that has to be in the back of his mind.
Let's see what the right bet is. 22,500.
So right bet.
22,500 plus.
Sammy adds a little bit to his lead there over Durr. And a look at the stats, Isaac.
Durr's 9% 3-bet here stands out to me. When the screen popped up, I was expecting to see a higher number there, because so many of the big and interesting pots have been pots where Durr is 3-bet.
Right, and what he's just not doing is he's not playing out of position without being the aggressor. So-
Exactly.
These boys are suited and booted, and Sammy George has brought a very expensive accessory to the table.
Oh yes, I've got to mention my watch over
It's
here.
a 200K watch.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good pot.
He goes, that's the worst case scenario. If all the money goes in, you don't need to go on collateral.
As time ticks on, find out if Sammy can keep hold of his watch after the break. The Full Tilt Poker Durrrr Million Dollar Challenge swimming along nicely.
Huh?
Isaac.
No, in fact, I've
Yeah,
saved
they've
you,
pulled
man.
just
What are you
about
talking
even now.
Yeah, in fact, it's
Good
better for
news.
you. Because she wants her watch done. So I told her to go see, like, when you guys arrive, to go meet him and give it to him. I've already spoken to him. So he's going to sort
Nice
it for
hand
you.
for
At least
Durr
I'll make
here.
her, like,
Yep.
happy-ish.
But Sammy
Oh,
takes the
Larry.
lead with that flop.
11,000 plus.
Wow.
Oh, and he just leads right out with a almost double top bet.
Is that an indication that Sammy is not
It will
bluffing
make
enough
happy.
from that position, or is that just one of those things?
I don't know. I mean, Tom didn't have a huge hand on the flop there. He has a lot more hands he'd rather continue with than ace-queen. So,
500 and 1,000.
I don't know.
Is it
Earlier in the match, I'd been saying that Sammy seemed to just be overbetting whenever he got a huge hand. But then there was that
No, they're
8-5
coming
pot
here.
where he made that really
got
gutsy
everything
overbet
on the
with
table. It's
nothing
gonna
on
be
the
good.
river. And it makes me think like he's actually putting Tom to tough decisions with his overbets. And Tom just didn't really have enough of a hand to continue there.
We're going
Is it sort of a mirage? I mean, you feel like people think, oh, heads up, you actually have to play a lot with nothing. But is that only true as far as hands you open with?
I really liked it a lot.
No, I really
think
think
I'm
that
gonna like to
continues
win
to be
Smash.
true on every
Smash is
street.
awesome.
you know the bit.
If in any spot your opponent
called?
can
The
just
bit
bet and
that,
win the pot half the time, they have a really easy and profitable
like-
bet, and you have to be conscious of
When he
not
sticks up
giving
for
them
his friend.
opportunities like that.
I'll just make it 3,000 dark.
He's made it 3.
3,000.
So this is now a blind bet by Tom Dwan.
Yep.
Oh, I was really hoping you'd fold.
It's not as
and I
loose
put
as you
down,
think.
I
He's
just
raising
said,
80% of the hands anyway from that spot.
Yeah, exactly.
And how do you like that percentage, 80%?
It's all right. I think it's a little on the low side. I'd probably be playing a few more if I were him.
Oh, you really like what you must have seen. That much. Oh, I'll let you do your zoning thing now. I'll leave you to it.
Lead out by Sammy, call by Tom. How now?
Check.
Check.
I would expect Tom's going to check back here usually. I hope to get the showdown and win.
Check.
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 I have a 5.
With an 8. Good.
Sort of the medium strength hands, the toughest to play, aren't they?
Yeah, a lot of the time.
Tom just picked Sammy there.
Obviously, when my wife comes, that she's got to sit there. Obviously. Going to.
I've never met your wife.
Huh?
I've never met
Yeah,
your
because
wife.
she never comes poker. She hates poker.
She does?
Hates poker. Like hates it with a passion.
Sammy was telling